So now we have calculated the entropy changes for the different processes at S2 minus S1 is equal to mCv. This is for that we have already calculated, so this is for isobaric process. This is for your isobaric process. This is for isoporic. Okay, this is PC. Now the next one is the processes on the TS diagram. We have already shown that on the TS diagram for the isoporic process, the slope of the curve will be T by Cv, and for an isobaric process, the curve of the slope of the curve will be T by Cp. And slope of the isoporic process is always more than that as compared to the isobaric process that we have already proved. Now let's start do one problem related to this process. A fluid undergoes a reversible adiabatic process from 500 kilopascal at 0.2 meter cube to 0.05 meter cube according to the law PV raised to the power 1.3 equal to constant. Then find these values as change in U, that is the internal energy, change in entropy, dq, W and delta H. So I pick all these, that is change in internal energy, change in energy, then the work done, and then delta H, that we can easily find it out. But the new is the entropy, because all other things we have already been calculated in the first law of thermodynamics. But the entropy is the new thing, that we have to calculate the value of entropy. Since the law is given that PV raised to the power 1.3 is equal to constant, and this is a fluid. So let us assume that the fluid is our air. So if we assume that air is the fluid, then P1 is given as 500 kilopascal, V1 is 0.2 meter cube, and V2 is 0.05 meter cube. So we can use the relation P1 V1 raised to the power 1.3 is equal to P2 V2 raised to the power 1.3. So from here we can easily find out what is the value of P2. That we can easily calculate by putting all these values. We can get the value of P2. Then delta S, that is change in entropy, is nothing but it is, as we have already proved in the formula, that we can use this relation. You can use any, we can use any of the relation, that Cp and Cv relation, or Cp ln T2 upon T1 and R ln V2 upon V1. Since here P and V will be given, then we can only use, it's better to use PV relation, as we have already done here. Now you see this one. So delta S is nothing but it is Cv. So for air, the value of Cv will be known to as ln P2 upon P1 plus Cp ln V2 upon V1. Since P2 and P1, these values will be given, V2 and V1 values will be given. So with the help of these values, we can easily find out what is the value of delta S. Okay, so here, so that we can easily calculate. Okay, so I think in this question, we can use directly the formula and we get the value of delta S. Similarly, for delta Q, delta W and delta H, we can use the direct formula as we have already done these values in first law of thermodynamics. So I suppose that you people can do this by their own. And delta S is the name that I have. Now, we were discussing about the Carnot cycle, and this was the Carnot cycle. That on the PV diagram, the Carnot cycle we have derived, that is from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. 1 to 2 is a constant temperature, heat addition, then adiabatic expansion, and on corresponding this PV diagram, we have represented this Carnot cycle on TS diagram also. And in the TS diagram, This is your heat addition process from 1 to 2 at a constant temperature, let it be Q1, and it is the heat rejection process, and let us assume that this is Q2. So what is the net heat? Now let us assume, I am just trying once again, it is your T and this is STS diagram. Q1 and here it is Q2. This is Q1. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4. Okay. Now we extend this up to, and let us assume this is SF and this is SI. And what is Q1? We have already seen that area of the TS diagram will give you the heat. Okay, so from 1 to 2, so what is Q1? So Q1 is nothing but it is the heat addition from 1 to 2, from process 1 to 2, and this is nothing but it is equal to T delta S, that is SF minus SF. So this is the total heat addition. And what is heat rejection? Q2 from 3 to 4 process. So what is the value of Q2? So Q2 is nothing but it is a, that is also this temperature, and this temperature value will be T1 and T2. Yeah, T max, and this may take as T. So this is T max, and here it is T minimum. And what is the heat rejection? That is SI minus SF. Okay. Because change in process, and since SI is less than so SF, then this value will be negative, or we can write it as minus T minimum into SF minus SI. This is Q. So net heat transfer, Q net, that is Q1 plus Q2, and if we calculate, then this is T max minus T min to SF minus SI. And what is this value? T max minus T min into SF minus SI. This is nothing but it is the value of this shaded portion. Okay, that is net heat is equal to area of TS diagram. So area of the TS diagram will give you the net heat, and as per Joule's law, net heat is equal to net work for a cyclic process. So what is the net work done? The net work output is nothing but it is T max minus T min multiplied by SF minus SI. So whenever there is a TS diagram will be given, then the area of the diagram, closed area of the diagram, will give you the net work done or net heat. And what is the heat input? Heat input is the total heat, that is the area of that portion with respect to your S axis. This is the S axis. Then the area between the temperature curve and S axis will give you the value of the total heat input. So total heat input or heat rejected is nothing but area from temperature curve to S axis, while the closed area of the curve, TS diagram, will give you the net work. So, so if we see then the efficiency of Carnot, that is nothing but it is W net divided by heat input. And what is the net work? That is T max minus T min multiplied by SF minus SI divided by the heat input, and this heat input is T max into SF minus SI. So this gives me T max minus T min divided by T max. Therefore, the efficiency of Carnot input is nothing but it is 1 minus T min 1 T max. This is the efficiency of a Carnot again, a reversible Carnot. Okay, that we have already seen. And this is the TS diagram of the Carnot input. So this is the PV diagram of the Carnot, and this is the corresponding TS diagram of the Carnot. Okay. This we have already done. So this we have already proved. Now there is one problem related to the Carnot cycle. This is a heat engine problem is given that heat is added at 500 Kelvin temperature, and here heat is added at 800 Kelvin temperature. Okay, and he has asked what is the efficiency of this heat engine. So now let us see how to solve this question. This is the TS diagram from 300 to 500, and this is an L shape. First we just draw the TS diagram. Here the temperature is 300 Kelvin. This temperature is given as 400 Kelvin, and this temperature is given as 500 Kelvin. Now let us assume that this value is S1, this value is S2, and this value I am assuming S3. Here heat is input and here input, and what are these values is 1000 kilojoule and 800 kilojoule. So it is 1000 kilojoule and here it is 800 kilojoule. 1000 kilojoule and 800 kilojoule. So net work done is equal to area of diagram what is the area of the diagram. So now let us assume it has two there are two rectangles. So one rectangle is this one of green color, and other rectangle is, now let us assume this one of this color. Okay, so we have two rectangles. So the total area will be equal to what? Net work done is equal to area of, I am taking this as rectangle 1 and this as rectangle 2. Area of rectangle 1 plus area of rectangle 2. So what is the area of first rectangle? This distance is 200, 200 length multiplied by this. So what is this width? S2 minus S1 plus what is this distance? This is 100 into what is this? This width is S3 minus S2. So this is net, W net. As per figure, 1000, that is the heat which is coming inside, 1000 kilojoule is nothing but it is the area of this entire portion, this rectangle, the big rectangle. So what is the value of this rectangle? That is 500 multiplied by, 500 multiplied by S2 minus S1. So this is S2 minus S1 is equal to 2 kilojoule per Kelvin. Similarly, 800 is equal to the area of this diagram. What is the area of this diagram? That is 400 into S3 minus S2. What is the value of S3 minus S2? That is again 2 kilojoule per Kelvin. So what is the net work? Net work done is equal to 200 multiplied by 2 plus 100 multiplied by 2. 400 plus 200, that is 600 kilojoule. This is the net work output. And the total heat through total input. What is the total heat input? That is 1800 kilojoule. Therefore, what is the efficiency of this? That is 600 divided by 1800. That is 33.33%. This is the efficiency of PKR model. So by this, what we have calculated? We have done basically, we have calculated the area of this diagram. The total area of this diagram will give you the net work done. And the heat input is nothing but it is the area of this temperature and entropy, means up to the S-axis. So this area and this area will give you the value of total. Okay. So this type of the question is very much asked in the GATE examination or in the engineering services examination. Now see one more problem related to this one. Suppose you have been given this problem that there is a process from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and assuming that this is the point 1, this is the point 2, and this is the point 3. 1, 2, 3. We are moving in a cyclic order. So we have to find out the efficiency of this cycle. This is a really very good question. So now let us assume how to solve this problem. Here, this is the temperature TH, it is the lower temperature TL, this diagram, and taken, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. We have to find out the efficiency of this cycle. Let us assume the corresponding values of entropy will be nothing but it is S1, this is S3. Okay, so net work done, net work done, W is equal to area of diagram. What is the area of this diagram? Half into base. What is the base? Base is your delta S, that is S3 minus S1, into height. What is the height? Height is TH minus TL. So W net work done is equal to half. Now let us assume that S3 minus S1 I am writing delta S into TH minus TL. This is the total amount of the heat. Okay, now here entropy is increasing and here again entropy is increasing. So entropy is increasing means heat addition process will be there. So 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 there is a heat addition process. But in 3 to 1 it is decreasing. Entropy is decreasing, then definitely it is a heat rejection process. So we can easily find out what is the amount of heat which has been rejected. So heat rejected during the process. So what is the total? Let us assume it is Q2, which is the heat which has been rejected, Q2. So that Q2 is equal to what? The area of this rectangle. So what is the area of this rectangle? That is TL into S1 minus S3. This is the amount of heat rejected. So total heat input. What is the total heat input Q? This is nothing but it is the work net plus Q rejected. So what is the net work done? Half delta S into TH minus TL plus heat rejected, that is it is in the negative delta S into TL. So this may be written as delta S into TL. Why I am writing delta S into TL as a heat rejected? Because rejected itself means that we have considered is a negative. This negative sign only shows that heat is rejected. So we have to take the absolute value. So we have taken this one. So net heat input is nothing but it is delta S into TH minus TL upon 2 plus TL. This gives you delta S into TH plus TL. Right. So this is the total amount of the heat which is given and total work done we have calculated. Then what is the efficiency? Efficiency of this cycle is W divided by Q. What is W? R into TH minus TL into delta S divided by R into TH plus TL delta S. So this gives you TH minus TL divided by TH plus TL. So this is your answer. So in this type of the question, it might be a confusing that the temperature is decreasing, then when we have to calculate that whether here it is a heat addition or not. But this is quite clear that since the entropy is decreasing, so it must be there is a at constant temperature heat must be rejected. So heat rejection we can calculate it, and total area of this closed diagram we have calculated, which is nothing but it is your work, and total rejected heat we can easily find it out. So total heat input can be calculated in this way. So it's better to calculate either in this way rather than for calculating the value of heat addition, because to calculate the value of heat addition means finding the area of this diagram. It may be a tedious work, but rejection of heat and total work that can easily be calculated. So it's a good question. Now the next one is, now suppose this is the problem and you have to calculate it, what is the value of the heat efficiency. So again now see, in this problem there is the just opposite to that one, and one inverted triangle is there. We have taken an inverted triangle. This is okay. This value is your TH. This value is TL. Now I am assuming this is delta S. This is TS diagram. So what is the work net? Net work done is nothing but it is half base is delta S into height is TH minus TL. That we can easily calculate it. So this is the net work done, that is the area of this diagram. And what is the amount of, now in this case, the amount of heat means this one, this area, that is this entire red one area. This is the total amount of the heat addition. The total heat addition is nothing but it is TH into delta S. Now in this question, it is tedious to find out the rejection, heat rejection, because for heat rejection for this one, heat rejection for this one, but it's easy to calculate total amount of the heat at a constant temperature, what amount of the heat is calculated. So this is the total amount of the heat. So what is the efficiency? Efficiency is half delta S into TH minus TL divided by Q, that is TH into delta S. This comes out to be TH minus TL divided by 2.7. So this is the total value of the efficiency of this type of question. So this type of the question asked is so many times and in different exams. So I think now it's very much clear to you people how to cooperate with this TS diagram. So next we will discuss in the next